Hello everyone, welcome to City Based Education channel. In this video, let's discuss about Spring Boot interview questions and answers. Along with that, we'll see some basic concepts of Spring Boot. Before watching this video, if you want to know about Spring interview questions and answers, I have included the link in description. You can watch that. Let's start. What is Spring Boot and mention its advantages? Spring Boot is nothing but it is a module in Spring and it is used for developing the application more faster. Usually in Spring, if we want to develop some application, we need some configuration first. We need to do some XML configurations or some Java code based configurations. Then only we can start our actual development. But in Spring Boot, it will provide automatic configurations and so we can directly start the coding part. So, Spring Boot is a Spring module which provides rapid application development feature to Spring framework. And it is used to create standalone Spring based applications. That is, you can just run it directly because it needs very little Spring configuration only. Now let's see about the advantages of Spring Boot. First one, auto configuration. Because of this auto configuration feature only, we saw like Spring Boot is more faster, right? We can develop the application more quicker. So that is how that is possible means with the help of this auto configuration feature only. Next, embedded Tomcat, Jetty or Undertow. So it has inbuilt servers within that. Then it provides opinionated starter POMs to simplify the Maven configuration. So it will guide us. So it is providing the opinions to start our project. Then it increases productivity and also reduces our development time. Spring versus Spring Boot difference. Everyone will have this question: why we want Spring Boot when Spring is already there? Remember one thing, without Spring Boot will not be there because Spring is a framework based on Java, whereas Spring Boot is a module in Spring. So it depends on Spring only still, but it reduces some developers effort. It has some features in it to make the development faster. That's it. But without Spring, this Spring Boot will not be there. Now let's see the more differences of them. First point, as we saw already, it is a web application framework based on Java, Spring. Spring Boot is a module of Spring. Next point, Spring, it is used to create loosely coupled application. Since Spring has some features like dependency injection, auto wiring, it is helpful for creating loosely coupled application. Spring Boot, it is used to create a Spring application project which we can just run or execute. We can directly run that application. Then Spring, it requires lot of boilerplate code and so there will be more effort for developers. But in Spring Boot, it requires less boilerplate code only and so developers effort will be reduced here. Next point, in Spring, developers manually define the dependencies for Spring project in pom.xml file. Here in Spring Boot, it has some feature called starter. So if we add that starter in pom.xml, it will add the required dependencies by itself. In Spring, servers should be set up separately. In Spring Boot, it has inbuilt Tomcat server in it. These are some of the differences. What are the features of Spring Boot? Some of the important features are starter dependency, auto configuration, Spring initializer, Spring actuator, logging and security. Starter dependency will be helpful for if we add that dependency in pom.xml, it will be adding the required other dependencies by itself. So we no need to add them manually. Then auto configuration. This is the very important feature of Spring Boot. As the name says, Spring Boot by itself will configure something for us based on whatever we have added in the pom.xml file. Then Spring initializer. this is helpful for developing the Spring Boot application. It is used for creating the application more easier. Then Spring Actuator. This is something like if you want to monitor our application, then we can use this feature. Then logging and security. If you want to print some logs, we can use this logging feature. And security, if you want to secure our application, we can go for this security. We will be discussing each of them in detail in the upcoming slides. So for now, just remember these are the features of Spring Boot. Mention the minimum requirements for a Spring Boot system. It is highly recommended to know your project version. Whatever you have for Spring Boot, just check in pom.xml file and note it down whatever you have in your project, because this can be asked in many interviews. Here we can take Spring Boot 2.1.7 release. What is a minimum requirement for that? First thing, Java, it should be 8+, and Spring Framework 5.1.9+. Then build tool, what build tool you are using, you can check that. Here Maven means 3.3+, and if Gradle means it should be 4.4+. Then servlet container, it can be either Tomcat, Jetty or Undertow. So Tomcat should be 9, and similarly you can refer the remaining versions. Mainly you need to know what is the Java version and Spring Boot version and which build tool you are using. How to create Spring Boot application using Spring Initializer. Usually when we want to create some new project, if you are using Eclipse IDE means, then you will go to that IDE and you will create it manually. But in Spring Boot we have something called Spring Initializer. This is nothing but a web tool only, like a website. Here you can go and create your Spring Boot applications instantly. Link for that website is https://start.spring.io. I have attached one screenshot for that. If you see here, it will ask for the configuration. First thing, project, whether you want Maven project or Gradle project. Then language, which language you want you can choose, and Spring Boot version you can choose. Then project metadata, this is like information about the project. Here you need to give group, artifact, name, com.example and demo. Here we have given. If you see the package name, com.example.demo, and then packaging, you can give either jar or var, it depends upon your requirement. Once you have given all these configurations, you can add some dependencies also. Here we saw like there is something called starters, right? So that starters you can add it here by clicking add dependency, and you can select the required starters. Names of that starters also it will be given here, so you can add all those dependencies, then click generate. So this will download this project in our computer. Here you can import that project into in which IDE you are using, wherever you can import that project. How does Spring Boot works? We know Spring Boot will be helpful for faster development of the application. Let's see how it is working internally. First point, Spring Boot automatically configures our application based on the dependencies we are adding in our pom.xml file. So in that, what are the dependencies we are adding? Based on that, initially it will configure our application. That is the first thing. Then @Spring Boot application annotation and the main method. So whatever class containing this thing, it will be considered as the entry point for any Spring Boot application. Then it needs to scan the components, right? So for that, @component scan annotation, whatever package name we are giving there, so based on that it will scan all those components. Now let's see the sample program for that. Here if you see @Spring Boot application, so this is the starting point for any Spring Boot application. Then our class name, then main method. So inside this main method we need to mention Spring application dot run of class name, that is my application dot class. So like this only any Spring Boot applications will have configuration. So this will be considered as the starting point for that project. How to configure Spring Boot externally? Spring Boot has auto configuration feature. Along with that, it supports external configurations also. Let's see how we can do this external configuration. First way, we can do it through application properties file. That is, by default, Spring Boot searches for the application properties file or its YAML file to load the properties. It will be like application.properties. This is the file name. So here we can configure. If we want to do some external configurations, we can configure in that. Then command line properties. Here Spring Boot provides command line arguments and converts these arguments to again properties. Then profile specific properties. We may have in our project like lower environments, higher environments, like that. So if you want to separate those environments and if you want to have configurations for those specific environments, then we can go for this profile specific properties. It is also like application properties only, but here application hyphen that profile name, whatever environment name we have, we can mention that here. What are Spring Boot starters? Spring Boot starters are nothing but it is also used to add the dependencies in the pom.xml file only, but instead of adding many dependencies manually, it will have like group of dependencies by itself. Spring Boot by default has some starters, so it provides number of starters that allows us to add jars in the class path by adding this in pom.xml file. Spring Boot built-in starters make the development more easier and rapid. Example, if you see dependency and we need to add group ID, artifact ID, and then close that dependency tag. So if we see here r.springframework.boot, this is the group ID. Under that artifact ID, Spring Boot starter web. So this is the starter. So inside this, if you add this in our project, this will give us whatever required dependencies to start a web application, to create a web application, whatever dependencies are required, this will give us. So see how this is very simple. We saw about Spring Boot starter web. Now let's see some other available Spring Boot starters. Spring Boot starter test, Spring Boot starter Tomcat, Spring Boot starter JDBC, Spring Boot starter data JPA, Spring Boot starter actuator, Spring Boot starter lagging. So all these things, if we add it in our pom.xml file, this will enable that feature. What is auto configuration in Spring Boot and how to disable this auto configuration? Auto configuration means it is a way to automatically configure a Spring application based on the dependencies that are present on the class path. This will be helpful for making the development more faster and easier. Example, if you want to add some database means, then it will configure internally the required dependencies. So we just need to add that starter. So that is Spring Boot auto configuration. And to disable this auto configuration, we can use either annotation or through properties file. Through annotation, we can do that by enable auto configuration exclude equal to data source auto configuration dot class. So this will exclude that auto configuration for data source. Through properties, spring.autoconfigure.exclude equal to that whatever configuration we want to exclude, we can mention that here. Is it possible to change the port of embedded Tomcat server in Spring Boot? Yes, it is possible. How that is possible means by using the server.port in the application.properties file. This application.properties file is used to load the external configurations. So similarly, server.port equal to 8081, like that if we configure, then our port number will get changed to this one. And note, default port in Spring Boot will be 8080. If you are not configuring anything like server.port, then it will consider that default port as 8080. What is Spring Boot actuator? Spring Boot actuator, it will be helpful for monitoring and managing the application. So it will be helpful for knowing the status of the application, and it is nothing but some endpoints only. So if we run that endpoint, it will be like we can configure that in our application so that we can know the status of our application. So basically it is used for monitoring the application. It helps to control our application by using HTTP endpoints. Dependency for that is Spring Boot Starter Actuator. So if we add this dependency in our project, this will enable that actuator feature. What is the need for Spring Boot DevTools? DevTools means it is developer tools and it will be helpful for developers, as the name says. How that is helpful means, if you are developing some application and you are doing some changes, then each time when we are doing that change, you want to see that change means, then you will be stopping the server, rebuilding it again, and you will start the server. Then this requires some time. So if you are adding this DevTools as it is also dependency only. So if you are adding this to your project means, then we no need to run that again and again. So it will automatically pick that changes. Whenever if it finds some changes, it will automatically restart the server, and so our development time will be saved. So the aim of this module is to try and improve the development time while working with the Spring Boot application. Spring Boot DevTools pick up the changes and automatically it will restart the application. Dependency for that is Spring Boot DevTools, and scope should be runtime. If you want to disable this feature also, we can do that in application.properties file by adding this property spring.devtools.restart.enabled equal to false. If you made like this, then this DevTools feature will be disabled. How to connect Spring Boot to external database? For that, first step, we need to add the dependency. Example, if we are trying to connect to MySQL database, we need to add the MySQL connector, and it should be added to the pom.xml file. Then we need to remove the whatever dependencies we are having as a default one. So here, if we consider H2 dependency is the default one, then we want to remove that. How to remove means, we need to include one tag called exclusion, and then whichever dependency we want to remove, we need to mention that and then close that exclusion tag. Now you need to add the properties like username, password, and data source URL, and some other configurations. Whatever you want, you can add that in the properties file, application.properties file. Then restart the project. So this will be applicable for connecting to any database.